Welcome back to Brossard, Quebec. We are here now for the Division 4B finals between Caisse de 12 and the Hooligans. I'm Alexis Dubois in the booth with,
And I'm Caisse Gordon Mall.
and we're getting ready for this Division 4B showdown. Caisse de 12, as you normally do to make a final, won their semi-final game, and the Hooligans are here because the team they lost to in the semi-finals could not make it. So they lost their semi-final game and have now made the finals. How does losing a semi before coming into the final affect your mindset and your compete level for that final?
Well, it's not the best thing, but at the end of the day, they have to kind of basically realize that, okay, guys, we lost our semifinals, and we're lucky enough to be able to play into the finals. So they kind of have to realize and be like, hey, let's get to the jump and go out here and have a game.
So Division 4B, you've been on the podcast all year for those who've been watching. What do you know about these teams? Who do we have to watch? Who are the dangerous threats?
So basically, both of these teams are really good. Caisse 12 finished 4-6, I believe. So they didn't have the best record, but they were able to make a name for themselves going into the playoffs and making it to the finals. For the Hooligans, again, unfortunately, they did lose the semis to chosen ones, but they got lucky enough to be able to get into the finals. But both teams, both teams to really look at is both the quarterbacks and also the appearance of Felix
Boutet?
Yeah, Felix
Yeah.
Dupuis.
And with that, I think we're going to be heading down to field level. We see our teams huddling up. I think we're a few moments away, and that was a good point, Kwesi. Someone to definitely keep your eye on for is Felix Boutet, number 10 for the Hooligans, who has only played 5 games in the regular season, the minimum to qualify for playoffs, but is one of the best players in FPF and will definitely be a threat. And here we have it. The game is in. The time has started. 20 minutes in the first half starts now. Hooligans are starting with the ball. We have Philippe Pelletier under center completed immediately to Sébastien Fafard. Makes a defender miss after around a 12-yard gain. Was that just a simple all hooks to get started into the flow of the finals?
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw here. We saw all hook formation, and he just kind of made the easy read, and they started something off good with the offense.
And the second you can make a defender miss, pick up those extra yards after the play, that's where you're doing real damage. We have our head referee, Julien Prou, running behind center, whistling the play in. Pelletier standing behind the snapper, waves his hands, takes the snap, looks to his right, flicks his hips, and once again, back to his snapper, that trusty conversion. It's to Sébastien Fafard. His brother, Michael Fafard, is one of the leading receivers for the Hooligans, but Sébastien is also a trusted check-down threat. Are we expecting to see Boutet play a big role in this game, or because he doesn't have that much chemistry, do you think he'll get phased in later in the game?
I think he's gonna just he's gonna be able to make a big role in general. He's a amazing player. Doesn't matter if he does a hook, a post, a corner. If he gets the ball in his hands, he's dangerous.
And now we have second down, 15 yards out of the end zone. Once again, looking towards his snapper. This is right off the hands of Fafard. A first drop, a very manageable 3rd and 5 coming up. Is this Caisse de 12 defense simply going man across the board and daring the Hooligans to beat them on a matchup?
That's what it seems like. So the first 2 plays that we watched, it did look like they were in a man coverage where they kind of dropped off the snapper at the end. That's why their 2 completions were pretty easy. But it seems like they are in a man coverage right now.
And if you're in man coverage, I would definitely be looking towards Felix Boutet, maybe on a drag or a quick out route. Let's see what they have in store for this 3rd down play. Boutet runs a hook. He looks towards the other side of the field. This was all hooks. Playing off. Pass is complete, and that's a first down towards Gabriel Perrault.
Yeah, so basically they ran all hooks there again, and both the corners on each side kind of bailed off about 7-8, so they were able to complete a 5-yard completion there, and it's first down.
Philippe Pelletier has been a very efficient quarterback this season, throwing for nearly 1,300 yards, 33 TDs, but has turned the ball over 10 times. So something to keep an eye out for this game. He's averaging an interception a game, And as we both know, Kwesi, in a finals, that one turnover can be disastrous. But we've now set up first and goal, scrimmaging from the 2-yard line. Pilsi is under center. Snaps, takes the ball. He looks to his right, throws towards the right. Boutet catches the ball, waiting for the referee's touchdown. Touchdown, Félix Boutet, 6-0. We were waiting for Boutet, and there he is.
Yeah, so basically the team ran a man-to-man right there. Félix Boutet just kind of did a hook and out, and the defender kind of bit on the hook, and he was wide open when he ran the out.
So Hooligans are comfortable going for 1 or 2. They've completed 8 one-point converts this season and 8 two-point converts. Their go-to man on conversion attempts has been Theo Klisch, catching 3 XP1s and 5 extra points too. Here they're opting to go for 1, a slightly safer approach to start off the finals. Peltier immediately scrambles towards his left, pressure by the rusher, and that's swatted away by Caisse de Douze's Theo Klisch. And I now realize I had the wrong name on the conversion attempts. Apologies there. 6-0. Caisse de Douze take over, starting from their 10. How do you get into the game in a finals? Do you want to take that deep shot early, get on the board, or is it more about slowly getting into a rhythm?
I think you just need one a completion off the bat. Doesn't matter if it's a 40-yard bam, it's a touchdown. That does help. But even if it's all hooks and someone just catches the ball, to just get into the momentum of starting your offense.
Let's see if Guillaume Boulanger, the quarterback for Caisse de Douze, has been listening to Kwesi. It seems he has. That's a quick little out route from the center. He makes a man miss. He makes his second, and he's twisting his way nearly to midfield before the tackle is made by Philippe Peltier. Oh, that is a very faint number to read from all the way up here. That was immediately caught by the snapper.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He just did a quick out, nice little pass, catch it, get the yak yards, and now they're in a
second and two from just about midfield. So that was an 8-yard pickup on first. He's looking towards his right. He comes back towards the right, completed towards Jacob Grondines, and that's enough for a first down. So a storyline to keep an eye out for here is quarterback Guillaume Boulanger. Had a good regular season, 2,000 yards, 45 touchdowns, 14 INTs, but has been spectacular in the postseason, is a huge reason why this Caisse de Douze team has made it so far. He's thrown 16 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 126 quarterback rating. Do you think he can keep that up in the finals?
Hopefully he can. I mean, he did it the whole year, so I'm not expecting anything less. It is the finals, so the pressure's on, but it seems like he's been doing pretty good.
And let's see how he responds to that pressure. Here he's looking towards his right. He's throwing back towards his right. That's a great touch pass over a defender. Tries to make a man miss, but that is number 0 coming up with the tackle. The pass was competed again to Grondines. What I love there is the touch. His receiver was open, but he had to get it up and over. If you look in here, the flat defender, and that ability to layer the pass, get over your defender, is incredibly important when you're running those vertical spacing concepts.
Yeah, right now it seems like he's doing a flood concept where he's pitting a receiver underneath and then flowing someone over the top, and it's working really well.
We have third down here set up, but third down from the 5-yard line. He cannot run. He's looking again to the back of the end zone. Grondines elevates, ruled incomplete. Q, did he get a foot down or no?
So
and that
I thought he did, but maybe we're going to see on the replay right here. Here
replay's coming soon.
Maybe his right foot comes down first. Yeah, it's close. It's very close.
From what I saw, that look down on the line, a great call from the official there. That being said, I think we now have third down. Third and short, an immediate slant route in, caught first down. That was a quick concept towards Winnie Foko. Speedy receiver, also plays rusher. A really safe concept to pick up that first down, and now 4 shots at the end zone for Caisse de Douze.
Yeah, that was a very good play. A quick out, quick catch, get the first down, and regroup, and 4 plays to score a touchdown.
First down now, the 4-yard line. This is in the red zone, cannot run. Takes the snap, he's looking towards his left. He pumps, the rusher jumps, do not jump, throws towards the back of the end zone. That was high and out of bounds. Was he throwing that away or actually trying to hit Garcia at the back of the end zone?
I believe he was trying to hit him, but he ended up having no more space going to the sideline, so he kind of just overthrew it over his head.
Yeah, but an important lesson here for the rusher to learn, very simply put, never jump. No matter how pump fakes you see, you're not Isaiah Allard. don't try and jump. Stay on your feet and get that sack. It's far more useful to get the sack than try to jump for something spectacular. And now Pelletier looks immediately towards his left. It is caught for a touchdown. That's a contested catch by Grondides. We are tied up at 6. Nice, safe hands on that. You can see why his quarterback trusts him.
Yeah, that was a pretty good concept. It looks like the Hooligans were in a lanes, and number 69 kind of just gave too much leverage. Simon
Provencher. We now have the Caisse de 12 going for 1. This is a team that only goes for 1. They've not competed at 2-point convert all season, but have been efficient going for 1. As you see right there, that is completed towards number 21. So we have a 7-6 lead for Caisse de 12, a very even.
Sorry, I think it's incompleted. He's saying incompleted.
You're right. We do have a call in the field that is incomplete. Number 21 is Gabriel Perrault playing for the Hooligans in a very similarly colored jersey. I can see where the confusion comes from.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't make anything issue going forward, because the worst thing to do is when you're passing the ball to a receiver and it's not actually the same guy on your team. So.
Someone get a penny on that, Matt. But we have a 6-6 tied game with the Hooligans going back to work on offense. Pelletier is taking the snap. He's looking towards his right. He's throwing it deep. He's looking towards Boutet. It's a gorgeous spiral. It is dropped by Boutet. Not something you see very often at all. What a ball.
Yeah, that was a really good ball. I think Boutet kind of just lost track of the ball, and by the time he looked at it, it was kind of too late, and he just put a hand up.
That's the kind of pass you expect Boutet to see. He had roughly a step of separation, and if Pelletier can throw that gorgeous ball all day long, Boutet will give him a step of separation on just about every route. That's something to keep an eye out for going forwards, because that combination, you won't see Boutet drop very many of those. But we do now have 2nd and 10, slightly behind the 6 is Pelletier. Flicks his hips to his right, comes back towards his left. Once again, his snapper, and we have another drop. Sébastien Fafard. Hooligans lost their semifinal, coming into the finals, 2 drops, a little case of the jitters.
Yeah, it seems like also, I think they haven't played in a while either, so that could also be something for it. The fact that the chemistry could be like a couple weeks off and you're kind of getting into the finals right away, especially after you're thinking that you lost it, doesn't help the situation.
It's a really strange mindset to go from, oh my God, we lost, we're done, good season, boys, to, oh, we need to play a final. Let's see how they respond on third. The rusher is barreling in, hands up, this ball's thrown towards the middle field. Boutet had acres of separation, tries to dip, but cannot dip away from Theo Clich. That's a big first down. How does someone like Boutet create that much separation? He was on an island out there.
Yeah, it seems like they ran a 1-3-5, so they had 3 guys deep in coverage, so the middle is usually open in most situations, especially if your 3 is not looking inside the middle. So Boutet kind of just ran a deep in and found the open space.
We now have a first down set up inside the Caisse de 12 side of the field. Pelletier is looking towards the end zone. Oh, that was nearly intercepted. He was looking for Simon Provencher, came out short and nearly intercepted. Something to keep an eye out for here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the leading receiver on the season for Hooligans has been Michael Fafard, number 3. I do not see Fafard on the field or on the bench. That is 526 receiving yards that they're missing. That could hurt.
Yeah, that's definitely going to affect them moving forward. But hopefully someone's able to step it up and kind of get the yards.
That someone's name might be Félix Boutet, who's running a hook right now. Ball is completed towards him, tries to make defenders miss, successfully does so. He's weaving, he's wabbing, he's dipping, and now he is flagless, but he has gained the first down. You're completely right, Q. If they are without their number 1 receiver, the man responsible for 14 touchdowns, those targets are going to go somewhere else, and my money is on them going the way of number 10.
Yeah, especially if Caisse 12 continues playing their man coverage. I think it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be a problem if you can't guard Felix.
And it's this off-man coverage. So while they're playing man, they're also leaving the hook, and in reality, covering very little of either the deep or the short.
Yeah, it's a very weird coverage that they're...
Wouldn't recommend. We're at the 5-yard line. Pelletier is looking left. He's flicking. He's shifting. He's under pressure, and he is sacked. That is Winnie Focko, rusher for Caisse de 12, has 5 sacks on the season. Make that one more in the postseason.
Yeah, that was a really good play call from Caisse 12. They ran kind of like a lanes, but they made sure they took away the drags coming underneath, and they kind of just jumped on it enough. And both the corners kind of also fall back as well. So it's like the both the routes that the corners ran for the Hooligans wasn't there either.
Pelti's learned a valuable lesson. Foco will not miss. Do not try that again. Get the ball out quickly. Foco's now barreling down on him. Ball's being thrown towards the front of the end zone, and we have a touchdown catch. That's a gorgeous sideline catch from Gabriel Perrault. Toe tapping for 6.
Yeah, that was a really good play. It came to a point where he put the ball, only his receiver could catch it.
That's fantastic play calling, fantastic ball placement. I've been very much impressed with the accuracy and the tight spiral Peltier has been throwing. Even the incompletion to Boutet earlier on, it was an incompletion or a touchdown. That one was the exact same thing, incompletion or touchdown. And his receiver this time made the fantastic catch. We now have a 6-point lead for Hooligans. They're up 12-6, opting to go for 1. At a certain point, do one of these two teams need to consider the 2-point convert?
I think right now, not really, unless the game kind of gets out of hand where you kind of have to play catch up. But right now, 1's more than enough.
Throwing towards the front of the end zone. It's completed towards Fafal, the center. And we have a flag on the play.
Yeah, I believe they're going to call unnecessary roughness. I think he hit him in the head when he was trying to get to grab the ball.
Was the 1-point convert good, though? Are we tacking this on? Are we going for another? The convert is no good, I believe, is indicating official Julien Proulx. But we have the point up on the board here. The score is 13-6. It looks like an unnecessary contact penalty. They declined it, took the convert, lived to fight another day. 13-6. Caisse de 12 are in a 7-point hole at the moment, but they have the ball. There's no worries yet. But the more this game is continuing, it's looking like those games where one play, one mistake might make the difference. Who will blink first? This is the second time on first down where Boulanger has gone immediately to his snapper on that quick out route.
Yeah.
Something they can start jumping?
Yeah, I think Felix Boutet. Well, it depends depending what side they're going on, but maybe. Right now, it looks like Hooligans is kind of switching up their defense and kind of showing different things every single play. So we're going to have to see what kind of defense they run here to see if they're going to jump the snap.
They have been switching every play, but they've also been leaving a decent hole in the middle of the field. And now we see Boulanger looking deep. He completes this towards Theo Clich, has room to run, press the first down, pass midfield, tackled after a gain of 20 yards by Perrault. But there he had time in the pocket, scanned, got to his 4th read on the play, and flicked that out for a huge gain. First down, Caisse de 12.
Yeah, so that was pretty much in out. So he acted like he was doing a drag across the field, and then he broke out, and it was a perfect ball, perfect catch, and a lot of yards after the catch.
Those yak yards are huge, especially when you have quarterbacks who like throwing it short, like taking those easy completions. When you can turn a 3-yard catch into a 7-yard gain, your quarterback will love you and remember you for that. We now have first down inside the Hooligan side of the field. We're throwing the fade route towards Clich. That is 6. Touchdown, 13-12. This game is a convert away from being evened up.
Yeah, so I think that was a delay hook and go. It was very weird. Both the defenders on Hooligans on the left side, they pretty much attacked the hook, and he kind of just ran the hook and go, and he was wide open.
So Theo Clich is the leading receiver on this team. He's the man they look for. He's the man for the big moment. He has 43 catches, 14 touchdowns, 500 yards. He's the only receiver on this team with double-digit touchdowns, and he showed us why right on that last play. It's looking like man coverage on this 1-point convert attempt. A quick out route in zone. Tackled by Boutet. He is claiming he reached the ball. The referee says no, the convert is no good, and it is still a narrow 1-point lead for the Hooligans.
So, yeah, that was a great job by Felix. He kind of just held his stance in front of the line, and the ball was thrown just before, so he was able to deflag it and not let them get the convert. A lot of times, if you miss that flag or kind of don't grab it when he grabbed it, it was definitely would have been a convert.
It's a good veteran play. You always tell people, stand on the goal line.
Yeah.
You're doing nothing if you're standing 2 yards deep. Boutet understood that, didn't do anything spectacular, stand on the goal line, made the flag, and kept his team with the 1-point lead. Peltier is now looking deep, completing over the middle of the field. Catch is made by Perrault, tackle immediately. That being said, a gain of 16 yards. It's a few plays now. they seem to be leaving a hole around 12 to 15 yards in the middle of the field. What do they need to change on their defense to take away that deep in route?
So they're gonna want to disguise where they have the middle guy, so the guy that's in the 3 to kind of not drop or make kind of like a fake drop and then come down and then drop your like 2 and your 4 as like a delay. So you don't see that the 3's actually, you see that the 3's dropping, but he's coming down and he's able to pick that off in the middle of the field.
Exactly. And we're approaching now the 2-minute pro clock warning here in Brossard, Quebec. We have the Division 4B finals. And now we have Pelletier completing again towards the snapper, Fafard, for a 7-yard gain. And I believe we're entering pro clock as we speak. So my worry right now with this Hooligans defense is they can't cover the short middle or the deep middle. Those are the easiest passes for a quarterback to throw. And that's exactly where Pelletier has been burning them for a majority of the game.
Yeah, well, I think you mean Casta 12 compared to Hooligans.
Yes,
Hooligans
my bad.
have the ball. But yeah, so it seems like Casta 12 is actually running a 1 safety over top and everything underneath, which is like not the best thing if they're going to attack 3 guys on the right side. So hopefully they could change
and that safety is playing 7-10 yards off the ball, which leaves exactly what you saw there. The hook to snapper Fafard wide open for another easy 7-yard gain. We're in the pro clock. First down means the clock has stopped and will recommence on the ready-to-play whistle.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to have to try to change that. They're going to have to change their play calling because right now it's not going to work. Hooligans is going to keep driving down the field, and they're definitely going to score. So hopefully Casa 12 it can make a change on defense and get a stop.
It's looking too easy right now for Hooligans is the issue. There's always someone open. There's always separation. You don't need to make a play every single snap, but you need to make something look difficult. Now we have Boutet dipping and diving. He gains 5 yards, not quite enough for the touchdown, but there you see all the danger that Boutet poses to a defense. He doesn't need to burn you with a 40-yard touchdown. A 2-yard hook can very easily become a 12-yard touchdown after a spin move, a dip, and just that explosive burst.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as Felix gets the ball, you have to make sure you deflag him because he definitely could beat you in a lot of ways.
Especially in 4B where you're not used to that elite dip move, it's all that much harder because you're not used to that level changing so drastically. Second down, second and goal. Pelletier under snapper takes a snap, looks towards his right, throws towards Boutet. Catch is made. We're waiting for the spot of the ball. Touchdown, Felix Boutet. We now have a 7-point lead for the Hooligans. Now is it time to go for 2 to make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah, now you definitely go for 2. You take care of control because right now you're ahead, right? And you feel comfortable being able to go for 2 because if you don't get it, you're still ahead of the game.
But is that a singular finger up in the air I see? Or are they going?
Are they challenging it?
I'm unsure what's happening.
Unless
at the
they
moment.
called a timeout.
They could have taken a timeout to get a quick water breather. That being said, I don't think that would be your optimal use of a timeout when you have 2 and they're oh so valuable. This might be Caisse de 12 challenging the touchdown on the play, but
I think that would be a really bad challenge.
I 100% agree.
He was in easily. So I guess we're going to find out.
There's a discussion with the referee. I wish we were listening to it, but unfortunately we're up in the booth. And we're waiting on the outcome here. It looks like Julien Proulx is explaining the options to Caisse de 12. The options are being extraordinarily well explained, I'm sure. But we're still waiting exactly on what's happening. We now have Julien Proulx walking towards us. And it appears they will be challenging the ruling on the field. The play was called a touchdown. And we're going to see if we have conclusive video evidence to overrule that. Kwesi, regardless of the outcome, is this really when and where you want to use a challenge?
It depends what down it is, but I don't think it makes sense to challenge here. We only have 1 challenge per game. I think if you do win your challenge, you get an air challenge, or I could be wrong.
Yeah, so the way challenges work in the finals is they're operating independently of timeouts. So you can challenge any play at any time. If your challenge is successful, you get a second challenge, that being your final challenge. And if your challenge is unsuccessful, you're done. That's it. No more challenges for the rest of the finals.
Okay, yeah. So I would definitely not use my challenge here. At the end of the day, if for some reason they do win the challenge, Hooligans still gets the ball at the 5-yard line.
Even closer.
Yeah.
I think they're scoring regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, I don't think that this challenge made any sense, but clearly Cast of 12 saw something that we didn't.
So Julien Proux, head referee for this match, has communicated with Brent Young, our video replay official, who's now come up to the booth and will examine the footage. So what we're looking for here is not evidence it was a touchdown. We're looking for conclusive evidence it was not a touchdown. And the way this is going to be spotted and how far it is from the camera angle we're looking at right now appears,
I
To
think
be-
that's a touchdown.
or at the very least, do you have clear evidence it is not?
No, you don't. As soon as the ball just kind of hits his shoulder, it seems like. Or so we're looking at it here, slow motion. Can't see it.
It's the blue line that he needs to cross.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Yes, the
in.
ball, or are they challenging that it's a completed pass because the ball does spill when it hits the ground?
But I mean, he has control when he's coming down on it, so
I-
I don't think it would make any difference if it did come out of his hands after making contact to the ground.
I think this is a touchdown, but I was very wrong in my first game I called this morning. I was convinced we had a pass interference call in 35 plus. I was entirely wrong, which is why I'm in the booth and not in the pinstripes. So we're going to wait to see the outcome here. But the other thing to remember is this Hooligans team are 6, exactly 6, which means no breathers. Right now I see a Hooligans player sprawled out on the field, other players hands on their hips. They're catching their breath. They're going to be well rested for the second half and for the next 48.4 seconds of gameplay. At a certain point, if you're wasting your challenge on a relatively inconsequential play and giving your opponent a chance to catch their breath, there are probably better times and better opportunities to use that challenge.
Yeah, exactly. That's something I was actually going to say. After Felix Boutet actually even caught his touchdown, he looked like he was pretty exhausted. So the fact that they end up challenging something that seems like they're going to lose, it gives Hooligans a time to actually to catch their breath. And when they have to go on defense, they're going to at least be sort of fresh.
And Caisse de 12, a very talented team. Guillaume Boulanger has been the best quarterback this postseason. He's a very big part of why this team is in the finals. That being said, this is a team which I think might be making their first finals appearance, and I believe we have confirmation on the field that the touchdown is good. The call went down from Mr. Young to Mr. Proux. We have the signal. Touchdown is good. Hooligans have scored, and now Caisse de 12 are challenge-lish for the next 21 minutes of this game.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't hurt them in the long run, where they're not going to need to challenge something else, because that's going to be really unfortunate.
It would be very unfortunate, and sometimes I've seen it where officials simply make a mistake. We've all played FPF games, and mistakes are part of the game, but having the ability in the finals to correct those mistakes is massive, and they're now without that ability for the rest of the game. But I think here Hooligans are making a mistake by going for one, but let's see if they convert. Pedsi is looking towards the back of the end zone, towards Boutet. It is dropped, a second Boutet drop. That is a rare occurrence. Let's see if there's deux avec un troisième coming up later. But this remains a 7-point game, 44 seconds left on the clock. What's the approach for Caisse de 12 to score with 44 seconds left?
They just need to make sure they get out of bounds. Every first down is going to stop the clock, so every 10 yards it's going to stop the clock, and they have to make sure they hurry up before the refs whistle again so the clock to continue going.
And as a reminder, Caisse de 12 will be starting the second half with the ball, so they have a chance for what we referred to before as a double dip. They can score, tie the game right now, and will have the chance to take the lead if they score on this drive at the start of the second half. Let's see exactly what Guillaume Boulanger has stored for us on first down. He's looking towards the middle of the field. That is caught, completed towards his snapper, reaching first down. Time is stopped and will start again on the whistle.
Yeah, to be honest with you, other than them wasting their challenge, this is probably the best situation they could be in right now. They have lots of time to score a touchdown. The time is on their side. When they do score, Hooligans is not going to have time.
Julien Proux has whistled time in. We have a drag going across the field, completed towards number 22. That is Charles Beauchemin. Dipping time is running. They need to make things move quickly now. Is this all hooks coming up? Let's see. They're running towards the line. 22 seconds on the clock. Boulanger takes the snap. He looks towards his left. He scrambles towards the right. There is no rusher. He's going to run. He is tackled short of the first down. Time is still running. Time out, Caisse de 12. What a huge tackle by Boutet.
Yeah, so after that catch, I would have called timeout to save the 20 seconds they just ran off. It would have got them in the situation of not really having a timeout left, but it would have helped them to be able to get a first down and actually have a play. Because again, I feel like hooligans are going to kind of back off and try to give, or it's going to give them the yards that they want to take. So instead of that play that they just did where they had to waste a timeout, they could have wasted it from the play before and had more time on the clock.
Very much so. That would have been a much better decision. Time is back and running of Boulanger under center. Throwing towards Clich. That is broken up. A fantastic play by Simon Provencher. Slapping the ball out of the hands of Theo Clich. We now have fourth down coming up, 8 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that was an amazing play by the defender. He kind of waited just in time to kind of hit the ball out of the receiver's hands, and he did it cleanly.
Maybe slightly underthrown, though. Had Boulanger led his receiver an additional step, put that in front of him, Clich might have been able to come down with the catch. 6.5 seconds left. Maybe enough for 2 plays, but not a guarantee. He's looking towards the end zone. There's a wheel route. He's open. Touchdown, Caisse de 12. That is Jake Grandines making them pay. 1.5 seconds on the clock, and they have a chance to tie this game up at the end of the first half. 1-point convert incoming. They didn't pick up the wheel.
Yeah, that was a very good concept. They had a post. I think it looked like just like a post wheel, but it looked like a post straight through, and then they snuck kind of a wheel from the backside.
So that's a traditional FPF concept, the post with the wheel underneath. The rule of thumb there is the short defender needs to pick up the wheel. They did not. That was Fafard, I believe, who didn't pick up the wheel, and they scored the 1-point convert. This game is tied. Theo Clich scores the 1-point convert. 19-19. Hooligans will have one play before the half, probably a chance to chuck it deep or let Boutet dance around some defenders. But Caisse de 12 will start the second half with the ball and a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game.
Yeah, so that was a great offensive drive by them. The only thing I kind of feel, the only thing I have to say that wasn't the best is that the challenge that they ended up wasting.
But the timeout, it wound up working out. We can critique exactly when they chose to take it, but the fact that they took the timeout, they saved their time, and they got the touchdown is all that ultimately matters. And they scored the touchdown. They did what they needed to do, despite some little mistakes on the way. Now, if the final play, Pelletier snaps his hands, throws back to Fafard. Fafard runs forward, scrambles, throws his hips, chucks it forwards towards Boutet. Intercepted. They're running it back. He has speed. He falls. He has lost his headband. He seems very upset with himself, but that is the half.
Yeah, it was a very good tip ball that ended up being in. Ooh.
Yeah, it was a tip pass towards the back of the end zone, then returned. He got across midfield before finally getting caught up in his own feet. That being said, there were three defenders in the area. So, we have a new game. It is 19-19. Caisse de 12 are starting with the ball. How do you play the second half, and what needs to change for either one of these teams to come away with the victory?
Well, for Caisse de 12, they're definitely going to have to change their defense. Right now, they did not have any stops this half against Hooligans. They're definitely going to have to change their concept of what they're playing. Seems like they're playing a one safety deep, so that's definitely not going to be able to work moving forward, especially if they're going to want to stop in the second half. For Hooligans, pretty much what they have to do on offense, they're going to have to keep doing the same thing, give what Caisse de 12 is giving them, and just keep driving. Give the ball to Felix, keep feeding him, give him 2 yards, 3 yards, let him get those yak yards for you, because right now he's doing a great job.
So we didn't see any stops in the first half, no interceptions. I don't even think we had a defended pass. Is the next team to blink, the next mistake, the next turnover on downs, the next interception, will that decide the game? Or do you think either one of these teams could make 2 mistakes?
No, I think whoever throws the first interception, first turnover downs is going to lose the game.
Which quarterback has looked the more likely? I know they've both played well and are both front runners for finals MVP already, but if you had to choose one, push comes to shove, who's throwing that interception?
To be honest, I don't even know. Right now, they both feel pretty comfortable. We didn't see any balls that kind of looked like it was going to be interception. So, I mean, it's so hard to even say.
It really is. They've both been throwing it extraordinarily well. I think Boulanger has been throwing a nicer style of better touch, maybe slightly more predictable would be my only worry. But we've seen more drops from Caisse de Douze. Anyways, we'll see what from Hooligans. We'll see exactly what comes of this. The teams are now walking out for the second half. We're going to head back down to field level now. I'm Alexis Dubois in the booth, along with Kwesi Gordon-Mole. These are your Division 4B finals, coming live to you from Brossard, Quebec. We're a few moments away from this second half of action getting underway as official Julien Proulx whistles and calls out the teams. If we're looking for a difference maker, we've talked a lot about Félix Boutet. Who else can step up from either side to really steal this game, either of a big catch or a big play on defense?
That's a really good question. I think sorry, are you talking about Hooligans or are you talking about
Either side, who's a player to watch?
I think the rusher from Caisse de 12, if he's able to get maybe like a bat down or a couple sacks, I think that's going to be able to change the momentum for Caisse de 12 and be able to get that turnover or forced pick for them.
Winnie Falco did have that big sack in the first half, and he's caught the ball right now. Great call, Kwesi. That's a quick 3-yard drag. We've seen it a few times now. It's one more of those traditional, we'll call them FPF go-to plays. Your slot receiver runs a 7-yard hook. Your outside receiver runs a quick in. It's just about a guaranteed 3 yards.
Yeah, that's a great play to start off. Good catch, good amount of yards. It kind of gets the offense going.
And spreading the ball as well. He's consistently gone to a snapper on first down. Now we have an all-hooks play. Completed to Theo Klisch. First down gained. I like what I'm seeing from Caisse de Douze. They came out. They realized they're in the driver's seat. If it's a tie game, they have a chance to take the lead. And they are taking no risks. It's safe finals football from a less experienced team.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That was an easy catch, easy. I think we're looking. Yeah, that was actually a first down, right? So they got the first down to about 7-8 yards, and it was no stress.
Two easy passes for a first down. Let's see if Boulanger can keep on going there. If he's just trying to go deep, it is completed short. Maybe a flag guard. No, the flag was gotten instead. But again, an easy drag concept coming across from the right slot over to the left-hand side. Jacob Grandines completes for a very easy 6-yard gain.
Yeah, so that was a good concept. The only thing that kind of scares me there, that was more of a third read. It came to the point if Felix was able to come down a bit faster, we could have possibly got a pick 6 there.
And that's not the player on defense you want to be testing. This is now immediately capped it out towards the center, who does not have a number. He dips, he dives, touchdown, Caisse de Douze. That is Quentin Samuel or Etienne Quentin. Number 1, that is Samuel Quentin, snapper for Caisse de Douze, giving them the go-ahead touchdown, and they're now going for a 1-point convert.
Yeah, that was unfortunately poor tackling for Hooligans. They definitely are going to have to change that up. One thing I don't like, I would like Felix to stay in the flat zone for the most of the second half. He's by far the fastest player on this team, and I feel like Caisse de 12 wasn't really over throwing the ball over top, so I think he kind of had Felix to just shut down one
Their
side.
only deep shot has been the wheel. This is a team which exploits the drags, the hooks, everything short. You need your best defenders in the shorts, but now going towards the back of the end zone again, underthrew Theo Klisch for the 1-point convert attempt. They have the lead. It's not calamitous, but if they're able to connect on a few more of those 1-point converts, they could start stretching this lead from 6 points to 8 points and eventually 9 for 2 possessions.
Yeah, that looked like the ball was actually just under. Yeah, exactly. You said underthrew. It had to be more forward towards his receiver. It kind of sucks though, because if they actually get that, they get the 7-point lead, which you feel more comfortable. Because the fact that if Hooligans score here, you don't feel as bad because you're still up by 1, and then they have to get the convert.
Anything more than 6 points is a really nice lead. It makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel safe and happy on the inside. But now Pelletier is breathing down their throats. It's completed towards Fafard, who makes a man miss and then gets finally tackled by number 3 or is that Etienne Quentin? These pink numbers are very hard to read from a distance.
Yeah, so right now, Caisse de 12 is still in their basic defense. It seems like they're still doing their 3 over top and the rest underneath. I think it seems like a 1 safety over top with a corner lock.
It's what I call a really soft corner lock. Probably too soft, and Philippe Pelletier has been taking advantage of it all game. Look here, we have room on the outside, so much room on the outside. That's an easy completion towards Gabriel Perrault, who dances his way for a first down.
Yeah, it was a good concept, good play. It seems effortless, to be honest with you. It seems like that was his third read. I feel like he wanted to go deep with Felix, but they covered it pretty well, and then he just threw the levels concept that he had.
And it's what I've been liking from both quarterbacks. These defenses are not doing anything overly complicated. They are leaving receivers open. And I love it when quarterbacks simply take what's there. If you don't need to make the harder throw, if you don't need to get to the second level, take the pass in front of you. And that's what Pelletier has been doing. And let's see if he can continue to do that. Now he's looking towards Boutet, completes it for around a 7-yard gain. We're going to have 2nd and 1 from the 6-yard line. What are you dialing up for that go-ahead or tying touchdown from 6 yards out?
I think you can still run the same concept play that Felix scored on both touchdowns. Maybe you do it upper side, you do a hook and then a bang out.
And this, in all honesty, is a fantastic place for Hooligans to be. They have 2nd and 1 from the 6. They can complete a 2-yard pass for a first down, a 6-yard pass for a touchdown. The options are limitless. It is all within the arsenal of Pelletier. Let's see if he's looking touchdown or first down here on 2nd down. He's looking touchdown. It's that gorgeous out route towards Gabriel Perrault. Touchdown, Hooligans. That is a gorgeous toe tap catch for the 2nd time this game.
Yeah, so you pretty much leveraged him. No, he just did a quick out. He did a quick out, and the quarterback was able to put the ball where only his receiver was able to catch it. And again, an error touchdown. I think that's the 2nd touchdown they got running that.
It's 100% the 2nd touchdown. But if you look at that ball, didn't come out the cleanest. Not a ton of zip. Is that something Caisse can start sitting on and trying to pick if he knows it's his go-to play in the red zone?
For sure, that's something that they're able to sit on.
And we have Pelletier scrambling out to his left on the 1-point convert. Makes it look easy. Throws cross body. That's towards Fafard. And they get the go-ahead 1-point convert. 25-26. Caisse coming back to try to take the lead.
Yeah. So going back to what you said, that's definitely something they could sit on and try to get an interception for it. But it seems like right now Caisse 12 is kind of just their corners are too far back. So for them to even make an attack on that ball when he does the quick out, I don't think it's possible right now.
I would agree. It's well placed, but if that ball's underthrown, it's a very dangerous ball to throw. And this is completed immediately towards Samuel Quentin, who is the snapper. He makes a man miss. He's diving down the sidelines. That's a massive game. And now you can see why Samuel Quentin is the 2nd leading receiver on this team, why he has 55 receptions, 476 yards, and 9 scores.
Yeah, right now, first of all, they ran the same play again as a snapper going straight to the left or straight to the right. It's what I was kind of saying. Felix Dupuis ended up being a deep coverage as the 2 spot or the 4 spot, depending which way you're looking at it. But he has to start playing short. There's no reason for him to play deep coverage.
Look, both of these teams seem so worried about the deep ball that they're leaving everything underneath open, and they're simply, both quarterbacks are just tearing it apart. You need to start jumping the underneath, force them to throw deep, and then see what you can create, see if you can force a mistake. Here we have the Quentin wrapped up aggressively, and the rusher, Pelletier, nearly got his hands on that ball.
Yeah, again, same thing. Snapper went to the right side now. Easy pass, easy catch. The corner, I believe, just came down. All they kind of have to do, they have to make adjustments. They have to make their 2 inside guys to shoot down right away and then take away that post, and they should be able to get the stop that they need.
Because, again, the back of the end zone, we've seen them try it a few times, the deep dig route towards Clich. The timing hasn't been quite there. Let's see here. They're looking front of the end zone. They're going towards the back. It is overthrown. It's off the outstretched fingertips of Charles Beauchemin, setting up 3rd down. It's exactly what you said, Kwesi. They're having a very hard time connecting at the back of the end zone. How can you force, as a defense, the quarterback to attack the back instead of the front?
Sorry, to attack the back?
The back of the end zone? How can you force the quarterback to attack the back?
You make sure nothing's available in the front.
And let's see if they can. 3rd down from the 2-yard line. Rushers barreling in, going towards the back of the end zone. Tiptoe catch. Quentin has the touchdown, and they take back the lead. Caisse de Douze are up by 5, and now they're opting to go for 2. This is a team which has not converted a 2-point convert all year.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think they should go for the 1. I think they should go for the tie. Right now, their offense is still rolling. They haven't got stopped. There's still lots of time in this game. I think going for 2 right here is not the best idea. especially the fact that they're not a team that converts 2-point converts.
They're not a team which does very well for two, and they also seem to have an issue hitting the back of the end zone. If you have a hard time hitting the back of the end zone for one, it's even harder for two. Here we're throwing towards the front of the end zone for one. We're looking for the signal. The 2-point convert is good. That was close, but it was just completed, and Jacob Grondides got the 2 with the reach.
Yeah, so that was a good concept. Not the best job for the Hooligans on defense. They ran pretty much a lane concept, but both of the defenders kind of backed up a bit too much. I know they were able to. Caisse 12 was able to do a quick out, like a 10-yard out, and get into the end zone.
It's very soft defense on both sides. There's nothing wrong with it, but they're leaving the underneath open with the threat of taking away the deep. But both of these quarterbacks are just eating the front of the end zone, the short routes. Let's see if, again, Pelletier keeps on attacking the shorts. He has some vert routes. He's looking deep for Boutet. Boutet goes up, cannot come down with it, and there we nearly had our first interception of the game.
Yeah, that was a forced throw. He had 2 receivers underneath that were wide open.
Boutet double covered, look here on your screen.
But he just decided to kind of throw it out, give his guy a chance. But that was a very bad ball. He was double coverage over the top. He had 2 guys underneath that he could have easily threw the ball to them for about 5 to maybe 10 yards, and they might have been able to get some yak yards.
And an
as well.
interception there could have nearly ended the game. He needs to keep on playing it safe. He has receivers open in the shorts. His snapper's been having a huge game. Let's see where he looks now on second down. He does look short. It's completed towards 69. Simon Pravachi rumbling across midfield. First down, Hooligans.
Yeah, so that's exactly what he has to keep doing, just like that. Easy passes, easy completions. He had the same thing on the first down, and he decided to go for the deep ball. So he needs to realize that if they're going to give him that many cushions, just take what you get.
The short game will start to set up your deep game, right? If they need to jump plays underneath, then eventually the deep will get open. And now we have a first down, again going short, again to Pravachi, a nice, easy 4 yards. And I see we have Ethan Mbwayi, who has just showed up for Hooligans. They are now up to 7 players.
Yeah, I saw that in too. When he was walking in, I wasn't sure if he was going to be playing on this game. Then one of his teammates were like, hurry up, let's go. So who knows that maybe he's going to be able to
make a difference in these final 8 minutes and 32 seconds of your Division 4B finals, opposing the Hooligans and Caisse de Douze. Right now it's Hooligans driving. That is it is intercepted. It's coming back the other way. That is the mistake. That is a pivotal play, and it is Charles Beauchemin coming up with the huge interception, undercutting Sébastien Fafard.
Yeah, that was a very bad ball. It was open for a split second, but he kind of had to gun it. He kind of eased it in there, and that's the reason why he was able to get picked off.
It nearly looks like the rusher got his hands up. He didn't see the defender and just tried to lay it in when he had to zip it, and Beauchemin made them pay. We now have the chance for a 2-possession lead. Can Caisse de Douze put their stamp on this game? Can they put it to bed? They're going short. Samuel Quentin makes the catch, tackled immediately by Provencher. But they don't need anything flashy. They don't need the big play. They need to drain the clock and score those short, little 3-yard hooks at a time.
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. And hopefully, Hooligans is able to take away the short, because it's going to be.
And let's see now, we have second down. Looking at the Clich, who has a ton of separation. He came back to his receiver, who's hooky on the sideline. That appeared to be his 5th read. He was gained the first down inside the 10, so we have first and goal coming up.
Yeah, that was a very weird coverage for Hooligans. They had 2 defenders on their left side, their corner and the halfback, where they were both in the deep zone, where if one of them just dropped down to the receiver that made the catch there, it definitely would have been an incomplete or at best a pick. So it seems like there was kind of some miscommunication over there, and they're going to have to fix it if they're going to want to stop
It's like they
here.
followed the quarterback's eyes a bit too much. They got greedy, they tried to jump something, and then left Theo Clich, the top receiver on this team, wide open. First and goal, scrambling towards his right, pitch towards Foco, makes a man miss, but we have a flag on the play. Let's wait and see what the call is. Illegal procedure on the offense. Quarterback was moving forwards at the time of the snap. He is not allowed to do so, but let's see the replay.
That was a very good ball.
It was a nice little shovel pass. It was a nice concept. I might steal that play, but What was the execution error? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, me either. Are you able to shovel past the ball like that?
You're able to shovel past the ball anywhere except the red zone, and if you do so in the red zone, it's an incomplete pass, not a 5-yard penalty, and they did move backwards. So this we went to chat with the officials with after the game, but there was a penalty for illegal procedure on the play. We are replaying first down, back 5. With Caisse is now looking towards Klisch. That is nearly intercepted. Instead, it is a touchdown. That could be a game-defying play. Centimeters away from an interception. Instead of an interception, it is a touchdown.
Yeah, so that's exactly the nail biter right there. If Simons Proverget was able to come down there, he had nothing else to defend. If he just comes down there right away, it's definitely a pick. Not sure if it's a pick 6, but definitely would have been a pick. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It ended up being a touchdown for Caisse 12. So right now, here for them going for 1, it's a huge point.
Provencher had the chance to get that game back within reach for his team. Instead, and that ball is completed way outside the end zone, despite the cheering. That was both feet behind the blue line. Incomplete.
Yeah, that was way off. It looked like he kind of just took his route a bit further than he was supposed to. Seemed like he just kind of did a go, and he lost track of where the field was. So.
And now, Caisse de 12 are in the driver's seat. They are up, what is that? 13 points.
Yeah.
So what the Hooligans need is a score, an onside kick, and then a convert. Do they go for the onside kick if they score on this drive?
If they score on the first play, I don't think they do. If they end up taking more than 3 minutes of the clock, they definitely gonna have to go for onside.
So there we had Pelletier looking towards Ethan Mbui, the receiver who arrived late. The issue was Mbui did not turn his head, did not once look back towards Pelletier. He might have been able to catch a deep hook on that one, but unfortunately the communication, the connection was just not quite there.
Yeah, exactly. He just kept running. One thing you do not want to do is especially when you know your receiver next to you is actually doing a fly. So Felix also did a straight through. Is that the defender most of the time has to split 2 guys. So one you guys should be open right away. So you always want to
get those eyes on your quarterback. Let him lead you to where it's open. Trust your QB. And for that, you need to be able to establish eye contact. Pelletier again looking deep, looking towards Boutet. He's behind the defender. He elevates, but that's a fantastic defensive play by Theo Klisch. Bats it away. Now, Hooligans realize they're down in this game. They realize they need to score, but are they going too deep too fast?
Yeah, I think they're in panic mode right now. I think they kind of realize, like, okay, guys, we're down by 13. We have to score, but the fact that we have onside kick in this league now, right? It's a game changer. So you definitely don't have to hurry the way they're hurrying. He could have kept going back to his hooks and kind of go back to his concepts that he was doing at the beginning of the game. But again, right now you're in panic mode, and a lot of times it's kind of fresh for certain players when they're coming into the finals that they're kind of just rushing a lot of things.
It's that finals pressure. You feel it eating at you. Let's see if Pelletier is now going to go short. It doesn't look like he is with all these vertical routes. It's complete to Boutet for a first down. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. Ticking away. That being said, as you just said, they need to score and they need the onside kick. They are clearly going for the onside kick now. They will not be giving the ball back to Caisse de 12 ideally. How quickly do they need to score to comfortably be able to attempt their onside and then try to take the lead?
I think with the time, because the new rule with the time management, the time stop, I think they have all day to score. I mean, they want to score between at least a minute left in the game, but when the time's going to stop at the 2-minute warning,
the game really slows down.
Yeah.
For all those of you watching from home, pro clock rules come into effect at the 2-minute warning, which is 10 seconds away. Second down for the Hooligans. He's looking deep towards Mbui. It's picked off by Klisch. He's put the nail in the Hooligans' coffin. He put the nail in the Hooligans' coffin. That's a second interception. It doesn't appear like there's very much left to do.
No, right now they're definitely in panic mode. They're definitely going to need a quick stop here. 4 now to interception, and then they're going to have to score and do onside kick if they want to have a chance to win this game.
So, Kwesi, who is your finals MVP? It's most likely a Caisse de 12 player. Is it the quarterback? Is it Theo Klisch with a few big touchdowns? Who are you leaning towards?
I think you give it to the quarterback. Right now, he hasn't got stopped once. He's been doing a great job on scoring touchdowns, and it seems like he's Like right there, that pass there. It was more. It was basically his third, fourth read. He waited for his receiver to come underneath, made the throw, and got the yards that he needed.
He's played a perfect game. When a quarterback plays a perfect game, it's very hard for them not to win finals MVP. That being said, let's see. He would need to score on this drive, but I think you're right. If he puts the nail in the coffin, if he scores this one and puts it to bed, then I think he will have the MVP award to go along with the championship banner.
Yeah, exactly.
He's looking deep now. He's looking towards 26. And there it is. This game has gone to bed. Jacob Grondines with that final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, so right there, easy concept. I think it was a man-to-man coverage. Hooligans was pretty much saying, like, we got to do what we got to do. We're going to go to man. If you get beat, you get beat. And the defender got beat.
And it is the right call. The game is over. That is it. Caisse de 12 are your winter 2025 champions in Division 4B. They've come from a 6-4 record. This 7-seed team has gone all the way and won the championship. And most impressively, Guillaume Boulanger has gone the entire postseason without throwing a single interception. What does the future look like for Boulanger? And what is his cap? What's his ceiling as an FPF quarterback?
Right now, it seems like it's pretty good. The fact that he went all season without throwing interception is something that you don't see with a lot of quarterbacks. You actually don't see it at all. So the fact that he was able to have that stat line and also win a championship, be able to do all that is something special.
Yeah, to go all postseason without turning the ball over once is a huge reason why Caisse de 12 made these finals and why they're about to lift that championship banner in a few seconds. He was just about perfect. That being said, the Hooligans defense did make life easy on him. They left those short routes he loved. Those intermediate concepts were there, and ultimately he managed the game, but he didn't need to make any extraordinarily throws.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He gave them literally what they gave them what they had. He hit a snap there so many times going left, right. It seemed like he ran a concept, trips left, trips right, or just a flood concept where he was able to go over top and make the easy passes. There's not one throw I think he threw that was contested and where he didn't feel comfortable making that throw again.
And when he did need a big receiver, he went to his go-to man all season. It was Theo Klisch who came up with that game-sealing interception, who was the target in the red zone, and really, with the help of Boulanger, absolutely put this game to bed. Between the two of them, they look like an unstoppable duo, and I think we're just a few moments away now of going down to the field. We'll make sure that as soon as we're live with Ben McMahon and Jeff at field level, we will be turning things over. But we're still a few moments away. So next season, with the spring season coming up, Caisse de 12, is this a Division C team?
If they might have to add some more bodies. You always want to add at least one or two guys, maybe make one cut there, defending. Oh, and you're going from Division 4B and going to C.
Perfect. I think they can make the jump to C. This is a talented team, but now we're going down to field level live with Ben McMahon and Jeff Rosenblatt.
FPF community, we got the Division 4B champs, Caisse de 12, with the captain, Guillaume Boulanger. Here is the banner for you. Grab that trophy.
30-second wrap up.
All right, I'm going to get Guillaume for a quick interview here now. Guillaume, I know you've been in FPF for a few years now. I've seen you in a few of the outdoor tournaments. Is this your first championship with your boys here? And if it is, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's our first. And then, I don't know, bro, we were 6-4, and then we just won every game in the playoffs. Props to the defense, 2 picks today, so thanks. Yeah, and it's the start, We're gonna win more.
FPF, be on alert. They just told you they're here to stay. They're coming for more championships. And we're going to ask the commish to give the playoff MVP, Monsieur Boulanger, once again. You heard it here first. Caisse de 12 is here. They're young. They're here to win a bunch more championships. Congratulations to our Div 4B champs, Caisse de 12. Back to you guys.
And there you heard it. Caisse de 12 are your Division 4B championships, taking it 45-26 in this final game. Now, what came up clutch was those short routes. They completed what they needed to complete. Their defense came up big, a pick to give them the lead, and then a pick to seal it at the end. And that was enough to come up with the championship. We now have our Division 4A finals coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Coming live to you from Brossard, this has been Alexis Dubois in the booth, along with
Caisse Gornamal.
and FPF will be back in just a few minutes with the Division 4A finals. Thank you.